Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining the June Student Development Administrators Update. We're glad that everybody is here today. As normal, we will record this session and make that available as soon as we get it processed. Also, the slides will be shared out with the entire group after we get everything processed as well. And so without further ado, I thank everybody for joining us this afternoon for our update. I think we have some good information for you. And we are excited that Dr. Merritt is safe. And even though he had to pull off to the side of the road in all his gallivanting around the state today, but we're glad Dr. Merritt is here, and I think he has a few introductions for us this afternoon. Dr. Merritt?
I appreciate that, JW. Can you hear me okay? I am okay,
Yes,
good.
sir. We can hear you fine.
I'm literally sitting in a parking lot in a place I've probably not welcome to be. So, but I found a place to be. So it's good to see everyone. And JW, first, I'll just, I think I've done it on this group before, but I'll say it again. Thank you for everything you've taught me over the past 9 months or so, and really over the last decade or so we've known each other. But and that's a nice tie, by the way. I see you're wearing your McDowell Tech tie today. So just want to start and say congratulations to JW. I think next week is his official, well, almost official last day with us until he goes out on vacation and comes back for that last official day. But we're just really excited for McDowell Tech and for the future, and grateful for your leadership with the presidents in the years to come. So with that, we're excited that Dr. Tori Reynolds is going to be joining us as the incoming AVP of Student Services. She is currently the AVP of Student Success Services at Forsyth Tech. And Tori, do you want to introduce yourself briefly for the folks that don't know you or recognize that laugh from across the state?
Hi, everyone. It is so awesome to be able to meet with you this way. It's just the start of a wonderful relationship, and you'll get tired of me. But like Brian said, I laugh a lot, and so it'll keep you excited while we're in meetings together. Great to see you all.
Tori, we're excited to have you join us in a few weeks, and grateful for Forsyth Tech for letting you go and well, not letting you go, but letting you depart. So to come join us in Raleigh. So we're excited. But we had a really extensive search process and had folks from all over, from all over the state, and then from other states who wanted to join our system. So we're just fortunate to have you join us in a few weeks. So congratulations again, and we look forward to your leadership. And we also have a couple other new faces joining us who have joined us recently already. Ashley Parrott is on the line. Ashley is our new State Director of College Ready Graduates and Developmental Education. She came to us from Wake Tech. And Ashley, do you want to introduce yourself briefly?
Sure, thank you. I want to echo what Tori said. I'm just thrilled to be here, and I look forward to working with many of you over the course of the next few months as we have lots of exciting things happening in the college ready area and the developmental area as well. So never a dull moment and lots of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're excited to have you. Lisa Eads and I debated over whether your name was Ashley Perot or Ashley Parrott. So we know it's Parrott now. So now everyone's going to call you that from now on, since I said it to this whole group. So, but we're grateful to have you, and we've never, as far as I know, not had a point person at the system level over developmental education. Thanks for that validation, JWSE. So I think it's going to be refreshing as we roll out the new DevEd framework next year, and over the next year, to have a person that can help support with technical assistance and professional development, and make sure we're this iteration of DevEd is going to work and work well for our students, right? So yeah, that's right. And last but not least, we have Tiffany Scobie. I think I said that correctly. Yay! So Tiffany joined us a few weeks ago as our State Director of Student Life. Those of you who should know this, but JJ Evans moved on to South Piedmont, where he is thriving as the Vice President of Student Services. So Tiffany, I don't know if you need an introduction to this group, but I don't see you on my screen, but do you want to introduce yourself and say hello real quick?
Hey everybody, I am Tiffany Scobie, not Scooby, though most people do say, what would Scooby do in reference to me? but it is Scobie. But I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be the state director of student life and just find great resources for student life and make it excel.
Awesome. Well, we're thrilled about some new faces in the system office, and just excited to have all three of you here, your leadership. So with that, I'll turn it back over to JW and listen in. So thanks, JW.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Merritt. I appreciate that. And welcome aboard everybody that's on the system office team now. We're going to get to hear from Ashley here in a few minutes when we talk about DevEd. We have a little bit of updates for that. Before we go there, though, I've kind of moved this slide from the back of the slide deck to the front because we have had several different changes, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned the changes to the student services team on this call. As we know, Dr. Reynolds will be joining us very soon, and then we also know that Tiffany's coming on board. We have two other people that I wanted to make sure I mentioned that is now part of the student services team. As you may recall, not too long ago, we added two BSAs to our team, and that would be Andrea with the financial aid leadership, and then also Brian with the student records and registrars and admissions leadership from a BSA perspective. So more recently, we've added Dr. Michelle Johnson, who was previously in workforce continuing education, working with FNS and ENT. After a little discussion, it kind of made sense for her work to fit with student services because really her work is all about holistically serving students and from that food, especially from that food insecurity realm. So she will be joining the team along with a new person that she will have as a coordinator in that area. And we'll hear more about her and her work in meetings to come in the future. Another person that we've added recently to the student services team is Michelle Lair, and we're very glad to have her as a part of student services as well. And one thing that we felt like has been a gap over the years in student services at the system office was somebody who was focusing solely on student success, those unique groups of students with unique needs, and what professional development, what strategies, what assistance can we give at the system level to help colleges meet the needs of each of those unique groups of students. So for example, Michelle will be working with veterans population, and probably I would expect some green zone training and those kind of things. She will be leading the MMSI grant. She'll also be partnering with the Latino populations to think about how can we maximize our efforts in those areas. And I'm sure there's a long list of potential groups of students, whether that's first generation students or adult learners, where Michelle's going to be sharing her expertise and her leadership in that area. So we're glad to have Michelle on board as well. You may notice some title changes also on there, just trying to better identify in our titles exactly what the work is that our different directors are doing on the student services team. So I wanted to make sure you knew about those changes that were happening in the student services area before we move into more of the content area as part of our normal meetings that we have. So I think that we already mentioned that when it comes to developmental education, we have co-directors from the college level. Katrina Arnold and Lucretia White have been doing an excellent job at leading us from the college level and the Developmental Education Council. However, we really felt like we needed a permanent full-time person who was looking at our efforts to make sure that students were college ready and prepared to be successful at each of our institutions. So we're so glad to have Ashley part of the team. We're glad that we were able to create this new position to help us really put an effort there. And so Ashley, I'll be quiet. I feel like I'm rambling around a little bit here. I think you have a few updates for us from the developmental ed course alignment. So Ashley, the mic is yours.
Thank you. I think Lisa and I were going to tag team on this
Oh, great. If
efforts
Lisa's
a
here,
little
I
bit
hope.
today.
I am.
All
And
right.
so I couldn't contain my excitement when y'all were introducing Ashley. So we are thrilled to have her. And as she's coming on board, and I know she's quickly learning how many things are happening all at the same time. So very thrilled to have her on the team. And as she mentioned, we're going to tag team this slide. We've really got a lot going on, not just with course approvals, but with resource development and support and planning for the full implementation of the new coursework for fall 2025. So we've had course team meetings back in April. A lot of work happened in a very short amount of time, as has been true for those course teams. Those resources have been shared with our first response team. Feedback has been provided, and we'll be making some tweaks and hopefully getting those published to an open NCC group in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for more on that. Ashley, do you want to say anything about the course team time? Ashley was here for some of that work.
I would just say that a lot of thought and excellent work went into both the English and the math sides. There was a lot of brain power working in those few days, and a lot of Advil taken because our brains were working double time trying to get a lot done in those few days. I think everyone hopefully can have lots of confidence in all the work that we did. A lot of experience in the room, a lot of DevEd experience, and doing right by the students has always been DevEd's mantra, and it still continues to be. So we've worked really hard under that theme. I think contextualize continues to be the theme as well, that we all want to make sure we are keeping our problems rich. Our contextualized resources will be rolling out, as Lisa said, as we put stuff on the probably open NCC. I'm still getting used to all the C's anyway. So stay tuned for that for sure.
Yes, and just want to also lift up the course teams were not just content folks, it was also advising staff. So had some student services, additional team members that came back back in April. So looking for some new crosswalks and advising guides to be published as resources in the very near future. We've also started having conversation with early adopter colleges. So we had our first set of office hours back in April. And we had the content folks on the call to meet with faculty to ask questions, answer questions, and of course this will be an ongoing conversation as we have a handful, I believe at this point, of early adopter colleges or colleges identifying themselves as early adopters with, again, more to come. And then the first response team and the course team. So we mentioned that just briefly. First response team is a broad swath of representatives from across the state who've been providing feedback throughout the alignment process, not just with the course design, but also now the implementation component with resources. So want to thank you all for having team members available for that experience. And again, the feedback was turned into us, and now we're trying to go from there and make additional changes. So Ashley, any other things you want to say before we go to this last part of the slide?
I don't think so, other than just reiterating that we did do a lot of work to put some resources together that are going to be some really, in my opinion, some very good organized documents that colleges can use. So be on the lookout for that coming out, and hopefully everyone will find that helpful in helping this roll out efficiently and in an organized way.
Yes, and we're also wrapping up the model selection survey, which was due last week, and we've got just a couple more surveys that are still coming in this week. So hope to have a very clear picture of prerequisite colleges, co-requisite colleges, and hybrid model colleges so that we can, again, plan for implementation support that will be most helpful. And then we also have the placement subgroup meeting later this month. I believe there'll be updates coming from that very soon. Of course, in the new framework for DevEd, placement is a local decision. So again, the conversation around placement is to place students into Gateway and out of DevEd should the GPA threshold be something that needs additional support. So or additional validation for readiness. So again, we're looking to move students into gateways and out of DevEd should there be a placement test given. So more to come on that. And then additional updates. This is going to be a busy summer, y'all. I don't know if Ashley's going to have much of a summer break at all, but we've got updates that will be impacted from the course alignment. CCP procedures will be updated. We're also working with DPI to update the College and Career Ready Graduate Program, also affectionately called SURGE. So stay tuned. We'll be talking more to you about that. And then Ashley, any closing thoughts as we transition to the next person?
No, I think that is perfect. Thanks, Lisa.
All right. Well, thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Lisa. And for those of you that might be new, Lisa Eads serves as the Associate Vice President for Programs. So she's one of my counterparts here right down the hallway. So Lisa, thank you for joining us today and helping out. We really appreciate that. Any questions for Lisa and Ashley before we move on to the next topic? Not seeing any hands or anything in the chat. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to student aid, which is Brenda Burgess's area, and she really didn't have any updates today except for something that I decided to put on her slide. So thank you, Brenda, for your patience with me. We were contacted, as many of you know, not a few weeks ago, about the possibility of SEAA in partnership with CFNC and some other agencies to hire for each of the colleges that wanted to participate some summer help in outreach and FAFSA assistance. So we wanted to be able to help colleges, for example, work those lists that I know you always work, and that is applicants that haven't done their FAFSA yet, or some of you may work the list of you have a FAFSA for somebody but not an application, or maybe they've done their FAFSA but their file is not completed yet because you're waiting on a certain file or something. So we've been working with SEAA to identify colleges that wanted to participate, and then SEAA is currently recruiting and training candidates for those participating colleges, which I think came out to around 51 colleges. From this list on this slide, you will see 3 different names from basically SEAA and CFI, Kathy and Neftali and Martha. So please be on the lookout for emails from those people. So I know this is a really busy time gearing up for fall registration. You just came off of graduation time, and so emails can really get backed up fast. So I wanted you to be able to know that if you see an email from one of these 3 people, they're probably contacting you to work out those logistics and to identify the SEAA person that they're going to recommend work on your campus. So really keep your eyes open for the emails from those 3 people. If you feel like you should have gotten an email from them and you have not, please let me know or Brenda know, and then we'll liaison with SEAA to find out what's going on exactly. We're hoping that all colleges will be married up with a person that can assist you on your campus the week of June 17th. So that's what our goal is. As a reminder, I got this question just yesterday, is SEAA is paying for the person. All you're doing is providing space, probably a computer and a telephone, and an opportunity for them to start working those enrollment management lists, especially when it comes from a FAFSA completion perspective. Any questions there when it comes to the SEAA and FAFSA? I think I paused my full 10 seconds. So we'll go on to another section that we have. Allison Garman works with our Finish Line Grants program, and you can see her email there. We were discussing the recently changed funds, the 559 funds yesterday. And Allison, we're talking about how those funds end June 30th, and some colleges may be thinking that they have a little bit of extra money and they're trying to figure out how to spend that money by June 30th, because the monies have to actually be spent by June 30th, not encumbered by June 30th. So if you would like to brainstorm with either Allison or myself about some ideas and how other colleges are spending that money to make sure we don't send anything back, please reach out to Allison or myself, and we can help you think through that and come up with some possible allowable expenses to help you spend the rest of those monies. So reach out to Allison or me, and we can help you out with that. Next is enrollment management, and Monty's kind of the same way. I put this one on his slide and he didn't know about it until I told him yesterday. So
You set me up.
I did, Monty. I'm sorry about that, man. It was done in love, I promise. So we were contacted by Department of Public Instruction and asked if we wanted to participate in a project, a campaign, marketing campaign project that they have started and is moving. The wheels are turning in combination with us and the UNC system. What this marketing campaign will do is basically send letters to all high school graduates with a GPA of 2.8 or higher, and that is a weighted 2.8 GPA. And then there are 6 identified universities that have agreed to conditionally accept those students immediately. The application will be a short 3 to 5 question form that these students will be required to complete. And then they will be accepted at those universities. We're still working out all the nitty-gritty details. However, they called and said, hey, do you guys want to participate? And we said, heck yes, of course we do. So we're working with DPI and SEAA and CFNC to try to determine exactly how can, on this letter that goes out to those high school graduates, also list the community college that's in that student service area and give them an opportunity to also to say, hey, I don't really want to go over to that university, but I am very interested in going to my local community college. It's like I shared to the group in our planning meeting just this week, is we don't conditionally accept anybody, we accept everybody. And by the way, we don't have an application fee either. So come on, we're ready to take you and serve you. So we want to make sure we get that message out to all these students as well. Monty will be working with the powers that be to design what that letter looks like and what the landing page of the web page looks like as well. So this is one of those airplanes that's being built in the air. So Monty and team will provide you information as it comes forth, and hopefully we'll see some good results from this effort in partnership with DPI, SEAA, and the UNC system. Any questions about that?
JW, I don't know if you said it, but this is for 2025, correct? This is 2025 graduates. Just wanted to make sure we clarify that. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. So this is for 2025 high school graduates. But we wanted to make sure you guys had a heads up that it was moving. So if you started hearing rumblings about it, you knew what it was. Okay.
And just probably we need to clarify that this is going to be discussed at the upcoming President's Programs Committee meeting and the President's meeting. So it hasn't made its way up that chain yet. So this is a very early heads up.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, Dr. Merritt. And so there, like I said, it's in the design stage, and we're just making sure people have a heads up so there's no surprises. Anything else, Monty? Yeah, go ahead, Monty.
Carmen had her hand raised, is down there, so I'm not sure if she had a question answered.
Hi, I did, but I think Dr. Merritt pretty much covered that. I was wondering if the PIOs would be notified, but if the presidents are going to discuss that, then there will be a lot more information coming out. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Carmen. And that was a very good point about the PIOs. So thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. And Dr. Hughes, are you on the line today for these few updates?
I am here. I just have a couple of announcements. We will be having the Disability in a Day conference on June 10th, and that is in Asheville, in the mountains at AB Tech Community College. And we have a full packed day with Judy Risch and numerous other presenters on various topics, from deaf and hard of hearing and other wonderful presenters. So hopefully our disability service staff can attend. Highly encourage, it's only $35. So in the future, it's a really wonderful professional development opportunity. And some of our colleges don't make a showing. It would be really helpful if they could be showing up for this. It's a great networking opportunity for our disability service staff, and to get to know their neighbors and just be able to know who's who in the disability services. And then also we have the HEAD conference. I am working with Dr. Alvarez, John Samuels, and Sarah Clark, and we will be presenting in July in Baltimore on leveraging CTE to put untapped talent to work. And the HEAD is Association of Higher Education and Disabilities, and that's our major network or conference that we go to. That's all I have to say.
Well, thank you, Trudy. We appreciate that and appreciate your work with disability services and also with Title IX. So
Sure.
Thank you very much. The next area that we have this afternoon, Brian McCullough wanted me to remind everybody about the IPS conference that is coming up here soon. I've seen a variety of emails coming out about that, and so I encourage you guys to attend that. It's a really good conference and has a lot of great information, especially in the admissions and registrar's perspective, but they have a variety of topics, so I'd suggest that you hit their website, check it out, and see if it fits your schedule and your time for professional development opportunities this year. The next one is from our BSA with financial aid, Andrea. She just wanted me to give a heads up to all the administrators here in student services that when it comes to the financial aid template, they are working on an update schedule, but they want you to be patient because as you know, the federal changes are still coming down, and especially some of those guides and those pamphlets, or not pamphlets, but in the rules and those kind of things when it comes to the template. So expect more updates to come, and as soon as the system office team and the financial aid review team can do all the great work they do to figure out how that template is going to impact colleague, and then they do all the testing that they do, they'll get that out to you as soon as they can. So please expect more financial aid patches to come out as the year progresses. Any questions about those two BSA comments before I move forward? All right. So now we're getting into some of our association updates. I think that Scott, I think I saw you were on earlier. If you're on, any updates from NCSDAA? Hey, there you are, Scott. So we're not able to hear you for some reason, Scott. Yep, the mic is still not working. My apologies. Nothing yet. All right, we're going to do old school, I think, here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to put in a quick plug for our summer meeting, which is next week on the 13th at 10 a.m. And it's a 2-hour meeting, may run over to about 12:10 or so as we put the agenda together. We've got some great guest speakers that will be joining us. And so Lucretia White and Katrina Arnold will be there to talk a little bit about DevEd and placement testing. Jamie Dawkins from the Transfer Advisory Committee will be joining us to share some updates. Stephanie Karn and Micah Schwartz from Williams Mullen Law Firm will be talking about Title IX updates. And Lisa Koratoff from Guilford Tech will be talking about gainful employment. So a lot of good topics, great speakers, and then we have our business meeting that we have a few business items to complete, and I'll be sending out an email tomorrow to the listserv with more details. So just make plans to join us.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. And then thanks to you and the planning committee for coming up with a good conference, virtual conference. We really appreciate it. And one thing I'll tag in on is the gainful employment. I know that Brenda is planning to have gainful employment as one of the primary topics with the financial aid community, the directors. I believe that meeting is tomorrow. So that is on our radar, and we are working on it. And we appreciate the financial aid review team and Brenda's team and everybody helping us work through the gainful employment stuff that's going on. Any questions for Scott or any additional comments, Scott?
No, I think that's it. Just make sure you've got that on the calendar.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. So next is the N3C SDPA. The N3C SDPA is basically the director level in student services. And this is an organization that we have kind of revitalized over the past few years. The new president has just transitioned from Sabrina Terry over to Andre Davis at Durham Tech. So just wanted to make sure you knew about that leadership change. I believe that they'll be planning a fall conference is the last that I heard, and that they also will probably have a business meeting at the system conference in October. So if you're looking for an association for your director level positions in student services, this is a great organization for you to connect them with. And I didn't look to see if Andrea was on the line today. She had a few updates from the Student Success Center that she shared with me. Andrea, were you able to make it? Yes, there you are.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. We've got a couple of different things happening. We've got a Summer Institute. The registration for that is closed. I hope we will be able to send some reports back to you all on the Prosperity Zone project that Dr. Bill Schneider is working on. And it essentially will begin to use some really great data points. He's working with NC Commerce Division to identify the highest growth, high wage pathways by county. And then we'll be reporting on how we are servicing those pipelines, if there's an oversupply or an undersupply. So we think the evaluation of that data will be really interesting, and we can send that out to all of your colleges, but we'll make sure that your executives pass that down as well. Hopefully some of you on this call will get to see each other in a few weeks. We did get funding through our partners at Job for the Future for a state AI roundtable. We were able to execute a survey for our folks. We had about 170 responses on this survey on what AI might look like in the state and the kind of services that we would like to be able to provide. And so with that knowledge, and thank you for any of you on the call that filled out that survey for us, with that knowledge, we will be able to start to craft how to use some of the money to get some resources and experts in to help us build the competencies and capacity to begin to move all of our institutions towards preparing our students as a professional competence to be well-versed in AI and some of the tools that are coming out. And more importantly, or maybe equally as importantly, ourselves, our faculty and staff and our leadership. How are we able to leverage AI and tools to catapult our own businesses? How are we integrating technologies in a safe way, making sure that we're considering our security and all of the other IT aspects of a project that is that big. In addition to that, it's not on the slide. I'll share that we're also working on an OpenNC CC, is our OER. And we're working on a new hub that will be named something like the Student Success Research Center. And we're going to start to compile through themes of things that you all told us you cared about in one place. Some of the checklists that you use, some of the promising practices. And this will be a first way that we can start to scale some of our collective intelligence across the state, maybe reduce some inefficiencies and save us a little bit of time, learn from our colleagues. Maybe it's a story of what to do, but maybe it's a great story of whatever you do, don't do that. So we'll keep you posted on what that looks like. And I appreciate being here today. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you joining us, and thank you for the partnerships. It's been a great partnership with the Student Success Center for my 7 years, and it's really been some really good things going on. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. So last but not least, this is the upcoming schedule. I think the next meeting, August 6th, will be with the entire division, not just with student services. And I guess it'll be up to Tori whether or not she wants to continue with this schedule in the future. I thank everybody for everything that you have done over my years to support me while I've been here at the system office. Thank you very much. It has been a good 7 years. We've strived to serve you as you serve your students because we know that at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is making sure that our students are served and they're set up to be as successful as they can be in their career ambitions. So thank you very much for supporting us as we've striven to support you over these years. If there's any other questions that you have for us, be glad to stay on the line, but otherwise that ends our formal part of the meeting today. And I hope you guys stay safe. Hope you can enjoy your summer a little bit, and I will see you around. You guys take care.
Just